everyone, so this is Elliot, my horse for the 2021 Retired Racehorse Project. I haven't posted a whole lot about him on here, but I wanted to share this with you guys. So this is his first ride with me off the track. We've been doing a lot of work to prepare for this, and honestly I feel like I've just been procrastinating doing it because I've been super nervous. I tried to leave the sound on this video so you can hear it, even though it's embarrassing. I was kind of terrified to actually get on him. But I'm super glad I did. He did amazing. So here I'm just getting on him. I kind of did a little bounce up and down just to make sure he wasn't going to spook or anything. But he was great. And we'd already gotten on and off a couple times, just hadn't asked for much yet. So this was the first time actually asking for like forward motion or any of that. And I mean, he already has like a basic idea of some of this stuff, especially forward motion, mostly forward motion, just from being ridden off the track. But we worked a lot on the ground to get a more solid foundation so that he was prepared for other things like stopping and backing and steering, all of that, and to be able to be relaxed while he's doing it. So I decided to ride him bridleless for the first ride for a couple reasons. It may seem a little bit weird for somebody who's terrified to ride the horse in general, but I did have some reasons for it. So first of all, I felt like he was well prepared for this. We've been doing a lot of liberty work. He knew what the whips meant, and we had developed like a fairly good communication at this point. I also knew how nervous I was going into this. I was kind of panicking about getting on him. He's the biggest horse I've ridden, and I've seen him run. I see how powerful he is, even though he was ready for this. I was just really nervous. So I decided it would be best not to have a bridle because I knew that I would constantly be subconsciously snatching at the bridle, which would, of course, irritate him and just cause more tension in both of us and not be a good mix. And also, my thoughts were that he has never, of course, been ridden bridleless before, so he's not going to have quite the same association with racing, going fast, going forward, pushing into the bit, that he's just not going to have that association. So with being bridleless, right? So that was my reason for doing that. And then I'm riding him just in a bareback pad here. I did have to put a breast collar on because he has such a high wither, and he was still in the process of helping him gain some weight. And so I had the breast collar and a bareback pad on him, just so he's not quite so pokey with his withers. I was super happy with how he did here, though. As you can see, I'm super nervous. I'm like hunched over, which is super embarrassing. But he was doing really good. He's like slightly nervous, you can tell. He's like swishing his tail a little bit, and looking over the fence. He doesn't love this round pen because he can't see out of it super well, so he kind of tries to stick his head up a little bit, as you can see there. But nothing bad. He was pretty relaxed, actually. I was pretty happy with it. Also, he stopped super duper nicely. I just pulled on the breast collar a little bit and said the word whoa, which he already knows is kind of a vocal cue from the ground. And he was super nice stopping. He was just looking around a little bit there. Here I was trying to get him to turn, which he wasn't totally understanding. And I probably didn't do a super great job of following through because I was really nervous about him speeding up just because of my own anxiety there. So I asked him again. We kind of went out of frame there. You can't really see. But I think we'll see in just a second that I did get him to turn around. Maybe not. Maybe I kept going. I don't know. It was so long ago. I don't remember. It really wasn't that long ago. I don't know. It's like a week ago maybe that this video was taken. Looks like we just walked on out there. He didn't speed up. I didn't die. He's doing good. Really calm. Really nice, relaxed stop. So I'm going to try to ask him to turn again. I probably should have released a little bit more there when he turned his head, but I didn't. So he kind of sticks his head over there. I asked him to back up off of the breast collar, which he did amazingly because I'd never asked him for anything like that before. He did really, really good. Really nice backup. Good. So I asked him again, just kind of raising my whip, getting him to turn. See, he's a little bit confused and nervous about it. He has kind of a head bobbing tick. I don't know, probably a stall vice sort of thing that he developed on the track. So he kind of reverts to that when he gets nervous. And there, he turned his shoulder really nicely. And of course, I took off all the pressure. We walked forward. He trotted a little bit here on his own. I decided to just kind of go with it instead of asking him to stop, because it was almost a little push that I needed to start trotting. And yeah, he was actually really smooth and nice. You see, he was relaxed. He wasn't super rushy, anything like that. I was super happy with it. It was mostly just my nerves and my embarrassing like hunch over that you can see. Oh my gosh. But we did it, so this is good. We went out of frame again. Sorry about that. You see, it's a nice relaxed walk. Also, notice I'm starting to relax a little bit more. And notice how his tail's not swishing so much. I'm not sure if he was just kind of sensing my energy or if I was maybe like clenching with my legs a little bit or something like that. But it's interesting to see how, as I kind of bring my nervous energy down, he stops that tail swishing and starts to relax even more. What a good boy. I was kind of starting, I think, to ask him for a little bit of a trot there. He took a couple little funky steps, yeah. That's why he did those. I asked him to trot there. I'm hunched over embarrassingly, but we did it. And he was super good. Came down to the walk when I asked really nicely, which I was really happy with. He was just generally very responsive. The only thing I had a little bit of a hard time with was that turning. So we'll probably work a little bit more on that on the ground. And then, of course, once we do more rides, super nice stop there. Really happy with that. You see him kind of blow out and lower his head, which is nice. Such a good boy. Also, I don't know if I mentioned how massive he is. He's like 17 hands high, and those panels, to give you an idea behind him, I think are 8 feet. So he's massive. So that's why I was a little nervous. And then, of course, his only riding history has been racing down a track, which I'm not really into. That's a little too crazy for me, but he did really good. So out of frame again. There we go. Oh, we're trotting again. Really good. I'm starting to kind of sit up a little bit more. Not enough, but I'm starting to. You can see him kind of put his head over to the other side, though. I think I'm going to start working with him in the other round pen as well and see if he's even calmer there, because he does seem to have a little bit of anxiety with not being able to see out. Good. So I asked him there with the whip to move his shoulder around and kind of take a step back, and he did super nice that time. It was really an improvement, so I was super happy with that. My goodness, we're out of frame again. Okay, here we go. We're coming back around. Really good. Super nice, relaxed walk. I'm really happy.
He's doing like so well. I feel like he's just
okay. I think in a second I did ask him to trot this way as well, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. Oh, maybe not. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay. I guess we're just walking. Oh, we're trotting. I knew it. All right. There he goes. Okay. Just wanted to kind of even it out and ask him to go both ways. You see I'm still kind of tense in the trot, which I think makes him a little nervous, that tail swishing. But super happy with how nicely he came down to a stop and even a backup right there, just off a little pressure on the breast collar. Really nice. He tends to kind of stick his head over when we turn. I should have done a little better job keeping a little bit of pressure to follow through with that. But like I said, I was super nervous he was going to speed up. So I didn't. I kind of let him walk away. I think here I'm a little bit out of frame, but I think we tried again to get that change of direction. Yep, I see his hip swing around. I got a good change there. And then I think I let him go off the other way because he did turn and he was a little bit confused, so I just let him go the same way, kind of as a release. Good. Super nice walk. You can see his head's kind of lowering a little bit. He's not sticking outside quite as much. Another really good stop. And try to turn again. He wants to push into that whip a little bit, so we're probably going to work more on that on the ground. But he did go off and move his shoulder around. It was a little bit of an arc versus a pivot. but that's totally fine, especially for the level we were at. And this ride was mostly about kind of reintroducing the idea of riding to him as something other than racing. And then for me too, just kind of getting the first ride done and actually doing it since I was so nervous. And there I kind of was experimenting a little bit to see if I could get a tiny bit of a side pass, because his side pass on the ground is one of his favorite things to do. So sometimes he'll offer it. So it's interesting. He kind of did a little bit there. And there I put my hand up to almost cue a side pass towards me. And he did take a little step, but then he got confused and walked out of it. But I think we'll be able to develop that into something later on. I really didn't want to ask for a ton this session, just because, like I said, it was really just an introduction to the idea of riding. I wanted it to be a good, positive experience for both of us, so that I didn't get more nervous and he didn't get frustrated or sour to the idea of riding. So I'm super happy with how this went. I got off, by the way. I did not get backed off. I just decided to do it out of frame, and then got off and gave him some scratchies. He's still doing really good. Just gonna ask. See, he kind of pushes into that whip, so we'll have to work on that a little bit more on the ground. But that was good. Yeah, and then we're just gonna end there. I was super happy with that. Kind of demonstrate a little bit what I was talking about there. Oh, see the side pass towards me. He's really good about that. Super sensitive. Here you can see when I'm on the ground how massive he is. He's huge. Asking for a couple little groundwork things. Back up. Such a good boy. The side pass. See, he's still kind of learning these things, but he's starting to get a good idea of all this. And doing it at Liberty as well. Such a good boy. I've really had a ton of fun working with this horse. He's super smart and willing. He's a lot of fun. Totally not the stereotypical, like, wild and crazy race horse. He's really, I mean, of course he has his moments, but he's super, he tries so hard. And he's really getting to be relaxed, which I'm super happy with. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Had a successful first ride.